And we are so happy that you have taken the time to join us this morning. My name is Jill Nagy Reynolds, and I'm with the SBA Columbus District Office. And this training today is the Ohio Business Resource Network, and it's a part of series of trainings that SBA works with the Procurement Technical Assistance Center on. When we developed this training, it was with the intent of assisting contractors or businesses that are interested in doing business with the government. In my role at the SBA, I work primarily with companies that have that interest in government contracting. And what we found is that while there's a lot of interest, sometimes companies lack the capacity to support larger federal contracts or state contracts. So the goal for today is to introduce all of you to some wonderful economic development networks that are available to you at no cost, and I apologize for that. So our goal today is to introduce you to those networks, give you information so that you can find out if there is assistance available in your area, and we will be definitely taking questions as they come through. The chat feature is enabled. I will let you know Jane Stewart from PTAC, she is administering the webinar today. But if you have a question of a particular presenter, go ahead and ask that at the time that they are presenting so that we can address that as they are going through their presentation. There will be time afterwards as well to ask additional questions. So we do intend to send out the slides after the event. So you'll be on the lookout for that afterwards. But without further ado, I will introduce you to the SBA Deputy District Director at the Columbus District Office, and that is Terry Bolden. Terry?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Again, my name is Terry Bolden, and I am the U.S. Small Business Central and Southern Ohio Deputy District Director. First, I'd like to thank both you, Jill, and Shonda from the SBA team, along with our strategic partners from the Ohio PTAC, SCORE, SBDC, Ohio Aerospace Institute, MBAC, the Women's Business Center, and ECDI for bringing us together to learn about preparing your business for success in government contracting. As many of you know, the U.S. government is the single largest purchaser of goods and services, and the 8A program, along with the programs our strategic partners provide, offer services for small businesses and socially and economically disadvantaged firms, while providing opportunities to compete for set-aside and sole source contract awards. In the previous year, and I like to give numbers always, in the previous year, Central and Southern Ohio businesses received about $2.2 billion in contracting. Women-owned businesses received $632 million of that. Veteran-owned businesses were awarded $550 million, and hub-zone firms were awarded $250 million. Contracting dollars represent an incredible impact to our economy, supporting both job creation, job retention, and growth. And again, none of this would be possible without the help of our business opportunity specialists, procurement technical assistance centers, and the hardworking entrepreneurs who have utilized set-aside programs to spur economic development. A little bit about Columbus District Office. We proudly serve 60 of 88 counties, which is a geographic area that covers all of Central, Southern Ohio, including parts of Northwest of Ohio as well. Our Columbus team is comprised of economic development specialists who focus on building strategic partnerships, outreach, and community collaboration. Our lender relations team, who many of you are aware, assisted businesses with their lending needs during the economic recovery through the Paycheck Protection Program, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, along with the 7A and 504 Capital Resource Programs. And our business opportunity specialists, who provide contracting assistance, strategic planning, and business development services to all small businesses. The SBA team is passionate and dedicated in helping small businesses. As a small business, you may have heard this before, but now more than ever, you are the backbone and the engine of our economy. And it is a privilege to assist you to grow your business through government contracting opportunities. And being an entrepreneur is not easy. I know this, but yet it's rewarding, and we take our hats off to you. From the Columbus District Office, we say thank you. Thank you for your innovation, your determination, and entrepreneurial spirit. And most importantly, we thank you for participating and investing your time in today's session. There will be a lot of information during this webinar, and if at least one item that would help you navigate through the contracting process, then I would consider it a success. At this time, I'd like to welcome Ms. Shonda Harris, Business Opportunity Specialist here at the Columbus District Office. Shonda, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Terry. Yes, and again, I'm Shonda Harris, and I work alongside Jill Nagy-Reynolds here in the Columbus District Office. And one of the things I want to do in the next couple of minutes is just to kind of give some of the programs that exist that made it possible for those numbers that Terry shared. And so if you are a small business that's on today's webinar, we thank you for joining us. And if you're looking to grow and expand your business, one great way to do that is through federal government contracting. And so there are essentially maybe three kind of different categories I'm gonna just touch base on today. One in a little bit more depth, and the other two I'll just kind of share briefly because we do have another resource partner that will go into more depth. But at the federal government level, one of the great resources, one of the great ways to expand your business is through the small business programs. You may have heard of another term for that, socioeconomic categories or federal government certifications. That's the primary, the first way that you can look to grow and expand your business. Another way that you can do it is through the SBA Mentor Protege program. I'll touch a little bit about that. And then kind of a third way to do that, if you're a small business, is through research and development through the SBIR and STTR programs. So next slide, Jane. As Terry kind of shared, the federal government is the largest procurer of goods and services. And so they buy essentially almost anything you can think of, they're going to buy it. And so if you're a small business and you're doing business in the private sector, you're doing business at the local level through a city, municipality, or the state, and you may be doing well, you may be looking to grow and expand and start to do business at the federal level. And then one of the things that Jill and I do as business opportunity specialists is we really like to work with you and kind of evaluate and assess where you may be so that you can be properly prepared to enter the federal market. Next slide, Jane. And so as a part of that assessment, again, if you're doing business at the local or state level, again, you may be doing very well in government contracting. But as you look to transition at the federal level, typically there is a process to doing that. And so again, Jill and I do like to kind of talk to companies to see where they're at and then the best ways that they can prepare in order to gain entrance into the federal market. And so a lot of times when we may speak with you, we kind of gain an understanding of where you are, and then we may refer you to PTAC, and then they will give you a little bit a better understanding and a better knowledge of what you need to do business at the federal level. Again, next slide, Jane. One of the things that I want to focus on that I mentioned, a great way to expand your business at the federal level is through the small business programs. And at the federal level, again, the federal government buys just about anything you can think of. They're the largest procurer of goods and services. So there are both large and small businesses that are doing business at that level. And so what the federal government has done is at least 23% of everything that it spends, of those contracting dollars, they're required to do business with small companies. And at that level with those small companies, the small business programs or federal certifications, you can go back to the slide you were on. Those small business programs are broken down into the 8A Business Development Program. And today we're not going to really spend a lot of time on these, but we do offer webinars and trainings to go a little bit more in depth. But if you're a company that is economically and socially disadvantaged, you may qualify for that. It is a 9-year program. So Jill and I do directly work with 8A firms. And I think that that particular small business program is the one that we typically like to ensure that companies are the most prepared, only because it is a 9-year program, and the better off you have an understanding about how federal government contracting works, along with the 8A program, it will guarantee a better success rate once you were to get into and to get that certification. So you have the 8A Small Business Development Program, you have the Hub Zone Program, historically underutilized business zone, and that's basically for small businesses that are located in urban or rural areas that may be economically distressed, and it gives those small businesses an opportunity to kind of gain access to bid on federal contracts. If you're a woman-owned small business or an economically disadvantaged small business, if you qualify for that certification, there are contracts that are set aside in specific NAICS codes for woman-owned small businesses to bid on. And then also there's a category for service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. So if there are veterans that may have served and suffered a disability while they were in military service, there is a certification. So with all of those certifications, there is a process to applying, and you can visit certified.sba.gov, that's at the bottom of the screen. But primarily, you can work with the PTACs to get you government contracting or procurement ready. Next slide, Jane. And so there's just a better breakdown at the federal level of those different small business programs. And at least agencies should be doing, if they're doing business with small businesses, at least 5% they should be doing with those companies that are economically and socially disadvantaged, or better known as 8A. 3% of its contracting goals should be with SDVOSB, service disabled, 5% with woman-owned, and 3% with Hub Zone. Next slide. So again, that is kind of primarily the first way that you can look to kind of expand your company is by, if you qualify for those small business programs and you apply for them, you can gain access to the federal market with those. But I just want to throw out the disclaimer, even though you may have the certification, it's never a guarantee that you will get a contract. Another way that you can look to expand as a small business at the federal levels through the SBA Mentor Protege Program. And that program just recently was merged with the 8A Mentor Protege Program and the All Small Mentor Protege Program. You may be familiar with the All Small, and now it's called the SBA Mentor Protege Program. So as a small business, we may recognize that you may lack the knowledge or the experience to do business at the federal level. So you definitely can look for a mentor that will provide you just a better strategy to help you navigate and how to understand how to bid on contracts, how to find contracts, how to put together proposals. So with that Mentor Protege Program, if you visit at the bottom of the slide when you get that, you can visit sba.gov and click on the contracting and then the Mentor Protege Program. Now, we don't assist companies in finding mentors, but if you work with your PTAC, you can touch base with Jill or I, and we can kind of give you some tips or pointers or some things that you can look at to help you to acquire a mentor. And perhaps that Mentor Protege Program will be a great way for you to expand into the federal market. And then also maybe by doing some subcontracting. Next slide. And so PTAC Procurement Technical Assistance Center, they will be up next. And again, they can kind of help you to further expand your knowledge base and to gain an understanding about how federal government contracting works and those small business programs. And so they'll give a little bit more detail about all the services that they provide kind of next. Next slide. And kind of the third category that you can grow and expand your business at the federal level is if you are a small business and you are in the research and development, the R&D space. And so there are grants through the Small Business Innovation Research, or SBIR, and through the Small Business Technology Transfer, STTR. Next slide. And the SBA works with other resources, and you'll be hearing from the Ohio Aerospace Institute, and they'll give you more details about SBIR and STTR grants. You can also visit the sbir.gov website for more information. And I believe next slide, I believe that may be it. That's primarily it for us at the federal level. If anybody has any questions, you can type them in. Again, if you want more information about the small business programs, Jill and I put on webinars typically every month. And so you can be on the lookout, getting emails about those. As Jill said at the beginning, we collaborate with PTAC to do a government contracting webinar series every year. So be on the lookout for additional training that could assist you as a small business to help you learn to navigate at the federal level. And I believe that's it. And so up next, we will have PTAC, as I refer to, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. So Jane, you can take it from here.
Thank you, Shonda. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's staying warm in these frigid days. My name, like Shonda said, Jane Stewart, and I'm with the Northeast Ohio PTAC. So, federal contracting. It's already been stated that the federal government is a huge, huge market, and they buy practically everything. In fiscal year 2020, $681 billion was spent in federal contracting. It's a huge market. And with 23% of contracts set aside for small business, that's a lot of money. And I would encourage any business who has products or services that the government is interested in to consider government contracting. The government is they pay their bills, they pay on time, provided a correct invoice is submitted. Once you get your first contract, they're a great repeat customer. And we need to bring these dollars to Ohio. Someone's getting this work somewhere, so why not keep it right here in our own state? In fiscal 2019, the PTAC clients of the Ohio University PTAC, our clients were awarded over $1 billion in prime and subcontracts. That's federal, state, and local contracts. That's a lot of money. So what is it that PTAC does? We work with businesses to help train and put them in a good position to go after and be awarded government contracts. We do this by setting up client appointments. We work mostly one-on-one with businesses so we can really target our assistance to your particular needs. We also hold group training events. And I think our most important service is our daily bid matching. That's where we can put together a list of keywords that represent the products and services a company offers. And then on a daily basis, they will receive one email notification of those opportunities. Then once an opportunity is located that a business would like to pursue, we can assist with that whole process. We also have access to several research tools that PTAC subscribes to. And those research tools can give you valuable market intelligence to better target your customers and find out exactly who is getting the contract awards from what agency and what kind of pricing. And best of all, PTAC services are free to all of our clients. We're funded by the Department of Defense, specifically DLA, the Defense Logistics Agency, the state of Ohio, and then my office, the Ohio University. So our services include, but aren't limited to, federal, state, and local procurement certifications. We can assist with the application process, help you to determine if you are ready and qualify for the different certifications. The absolute requirement for federal contracting is SAM registration. SAM is the System for Award Management. We can assist you with that process at no cost. There are many consultants that would like to charge a hefty fee. You don't have to pay for it. It is absolutely free. Everyone in the Ohio PTAC group is qualified for veteran verification. If you are a veteran, we can assist you with the veteran verification program, which is required if you want to do business with the Veterans Administration. We can assist with capability statement. That's a one-page, essentially a business resume that is the most important marketing tool in your toolbox. That's the best way to get information about your company into potential customers' hands. We can assist with responding to government solicitations, marketing, and other topics that might be relevant, such as obtaining a GSA schedule. All you have to do is ask, and we'll do our best. So there are 15 procurement professionals in Ohio. The map shows you where all of our offices are located. And you can find us at findgovcontracts.ohio.gov. PTAC is part of a national network. There are 300 PTAC offices across the country. So if you're attending and you're located in another state, you can go to our national organization website, aptac.us.org, and you can find the PTAC professionals in your area. So how do you obtain PTAC services? It's simple. All you need to do is go to ptac.ohio.edu. There's a client registration form. It'll take you about 2 minutes to complete. And then once we receive your registration, then we'll contact you and we'll get an appointment scheduled and then determine the way that we assist your company. I guess I already covered this. PTAC funding is through the Ohio University, the federal government, and the state of Ohio. Oh, it is important to mention that we are not affiliated with any business or for-profit enterprise. We are completely independent and free of any bias. So in summary, yes, government contracting is tough. There's strong competition out there. It's not for everyone, but for the right company with the right offer, it can be very lucrative. If you don't understand the process or procedures, that puts you at a disadvantage. That's why PTAC is here. We can help you figure out all that stuff. You have to network. Right now, it's kind of difficult because nobody's meeting in person, but at least we have the miracle of modern technology to meet electronically. So make sure that you're ready for the whole government procurement process before you jump in with both feet. And your local PTAC can help you with that to make sure that you're ready and that you can be successful. And that's all I have. So don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions, or contact your local PTAC office using those websites. And up next is Dan Geiser from OAI, the Ohio Aerospace Institute. Take it away, Dan.
Thank you, Jane. And this is Dan Gisser, and I have on this page my two colleagues listed as well, Alexis Carini and Anthony Gillespie. I think they might be listening on the phone as well. Kudos to Jane and the PTAC. I work with all of the PTACs in Ohio and Jane constantly, and always referring companies I work with. In fact, I referred one yesterday to your colleague Rich in Akron. So we work very closely together. Shonda talked earlier about the federal research grants, the Small Business Innovation Research Grants, sometimes called SBIR grants. I'd like to talk a little bit more about those today and introduce those. Next slide, Jane, please. There we go. Every year, our federal government provides grants to support innovative research and technology development for small companies. And in Ohio, on the right, every year, Ohio companies are awarded about 220 grants. About 100 companies every year win these awards, so a lot of them get more than one. And it brings in a total of about $220 million in investment into Ohio companies. And I have the numbers, those are for 2019 on the left for across the country. Ohio does quite well, actually. We are, every year, we're about 8th or 9th out of all of the 50 states in receiving the most grants and the most money. So we do quite well with that. Next slide, please. There we go. There we go. Shonda actually alluded to this also, that there's actually two closely related programs, SBIR, which is Small Business Innovation Research, and STTR, which stands for Small Business Technology Transfer. And they're almost identical, and the differences are really minor. Usually, sometimes we have a university, for example, that is spinning technology out and creating a new company. And the STTR program was especially designed for that situation and some similar sorts of situations. I and almost everybody else uses the term SBIR to refer to both programs together. And that's what I'm going to do today, unless I explicitly say otherwise. So just get that piece out of there. Next slide, please. Our federal government awards these research grants and contracts, but it's actually 11 different programs, all kind of coordinated by the SBA, but 11 different departments that have their own program, and they're all a little bit different and a lot the same. The big ones are through the Department of Defense, Health and Human Services, which is mostly the National Institutes of Health, the Department of Energy, the National Science Foundation, and NASA. And then there's a half dozen smaller ones, Department of Agriculture, Homeland Security, Department of Transportation, Department of Commerce, Department of Education, and the EPA. But all of these have SBIR programs. The larger agencies also include STTR programs. The smaller ones don't. Next slide, please. The companies that apply for and win these research awards are typically early stage companies. Very stereotypically, the two folks who in their garage, that's a very common sort of situation. And almost the first thing they do as a company is, after they get their registrations done, is apply for an SBIR award. Then we also see a lot of companies, small companies that have maybe been around and successful small businesses for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and they want to expand into a new field. And so they apply for an SBIR award to help them do that. These are research technology development grants. So the companies are typically entrepreneurs who have ideas, innovations that could really bring outstanding commercialization potential. They want to build a big business that support our government's technology needs. We need lots of things. And when you think about those agencies, you can start to think about that. But also bring broader impacts. Maybe they're creating a new industry, or maybe there's some social or environmental benefit, or a large health benefit that helps society. And they're across all kinds of different industries, from energy to aerospace, healthcare, medical devices, information technology, agriculture, et cetera. And you can stay here now. Well, that's okay. There we go. I'm not going to say too much. You'll get these slides later on, but at its simplest, these programs are a gated process. You start with a kind of small award. It might be anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000 to do some feasibility development over maybe a year. And the details vary by the particular agency and the particular request. If that's successful, it can feed into a phase 2 award, which might be $1 million, $1.5 million for research money over a period of a year or two. And then that can lead into a phase 3 award, which is actually just a supply agreement. The government becomes your customer and purchases your product or service. And you have some exclusive rights to supply that technology to the government. And they're very strong rights based on these phase 1 and phase 2 awards. Next slide. Ohio Aerospace Institute, or OAI, provides help to small businesses across their entire journey. These are complicated programs in terms of learning about them, understanding them. There's sort of several different but related programs. And so we help companies learn about them like we are right now today. And then further on, we help companies as they're thinking about applying and then preparing their applications, which is a lot of work. We can help some in the contract. I often refer right back to the PTACs and others on this call for more of the help there. And then once you've won an award, managing the grant and finding connections and developing technology, we can help there as well. Despite our name, Ohio Aerospace Institute, we work across all technologies and all industries and all 11 of the SBIR funding agencies. So we have special expertise because of other parts of Ohio Aerospace Institute in the aerospace industry, but we do lots and lots of work across all technologies and all industries. And we are especially interested in finding and helping underrepresented entrepreneurs with an interest and skill in these technology and STEM areas. Like the PTAC, our services are usually free, almost always free to Ohio entrepreneurs. They come through federal dollars through the SBA, state tax dollars through Third Frontier, as well as some local dollars and other pieces here and there. Next slide. Here's a couple of websites and you'll get these slides, so I'm not going to read them to you here, but there's a longer version, an hour version kind of this webinar, which is a great place to start, that we recorded 6 or so months ago. And final slide is just my contact information and my colleagues' contact information. And I see a question in the chat: does this get us in on the ground floor of R&D projects? How do we find out what projects are in the pipeline? And the answer is absolutely yes. There are 2 ways to think about it. In many cases, some of the agencies have particular technology needs. and they will publish those in a solicitation and basically a request for proposals. And so there's lots and lots of detailed topics, and we can help you learn about what those topics are available and how you might fit. And then some agencies look to you. Do you have an idea that will meet the criteria and are more open-ended? And we can help you think through how to frame your idea and pitch it to the appropriate agency if there is one. Love to talk to you more about that. Thank you.
Okay, and next up we have Deborah Davis from the Minority Business Assistance Center.
Good morning, everyone. Great to see everyone here today. Thank you for having me present today. See, Jane, do you have my slides ready? Let's see.
I have them up.
No, that's not me.
Oh no, those are Tanya.
There you go. Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'm Deborah Davis, and I am the Regional Director of the Minority Business Assistance Center at the African American Chamber of Commerce. We are a state-funded program. We work with businesses in the ideation phase up to the growth phase. We provide several services, so those are some of the things that I'm going to talk about today, our certifications and the technical services that we provide our clients. So Jane, can you move to the next slide, please? So as I said, we are the Minority Business Assistance Center. We are located across 7 cities in Ohio. So we're located in Cincinnati, Columbus, Youngstown, Dayton, Cleveland, Toledo, and Akron. And we cover 17 counties across the state of Ohio. So we are in every county within the state. We have a satellite office in Piketon at the Ohio State University Endeavor Center that works with mostly our Appalachian businesses out there. Next slide, Jane. So as you see, we are located across the state of Ohio. The territory that we cover in Cincinnati is the burgundy on the bottom. So if you are not in Cincinnati, but you may be in Cleveland, we do have an office in Cleveland that can assist you with services as well. Next slide, Jane. So we provide free services to business owners. And in order to be a client, you can just go to our website, www.mbaccincy.com, and fill out the application online to become a client of ours. And these are some of the services that we offer. So we offer certifications, technical training workshops, financial and contract procurement assistance. We have a loan and bonding program that we offer business clients, business management development, capability statement development, marketing and business plan development, as well as referrals to financial assistance programs such as ECDI, SBA, GCMI, and the state finance program. Next slide, Jane. So our certifications, what are they? We have the MBE, the Minority Business Enterprise Certification. We have EDGE, Encouraging Diversity, Growth, and Equity. Women Business Enterprise, the WBE, and then the Veteran Business Enterprise Certification. So with the Minority Business Enterprise Certification, you do need to be 51% owner, as well as with the EDGE, 51% owner. With the WBE, you need to be at least 100% owner. So if you have 2 women that own the business, that's fine. But you do need to be a woman, of course. And then with the veterans, you need to be at least 51% owner of that business as well. So there are certain qualifications that are required in order to get these certifications. We focus on 4 ethnic groups with the MBE and EDGE, the African American, Asian, Hispanic, and Native American ethnic groups. With the MBE, as I said, you need to be 51% owner and operator of that business. You need to be a resident of the state of Ohio and a US citizen. So that goes for all of these except for the WBE. With the WBE, you don't have to have your business in the state of Ohio. You can actually have a business outside of Ohio, and that's one of the perks of that program that the state has offered. With the EDGE, go back, Jane. Sorry.
I apologize.
That's okay. With the EDGE certification, we cover those ethnic groups that I just mentioned, but we also look at businesses who are socioeconomically disadvantaged. And so if you come from Appalachia, if you happen to be in an urban environment where you may have a business in a socioeconomically disadvantaged community, or you may be socioeconomically disadvantaged, we can help you with that as well. Again, with the EDGE, you do need to be 51% owner and operator, as I stated, but this is looking at your personal net worth, whereas the MBE is ethnically based, the EDGE certification is income based. So you cannot exceed $750,000 if you are going to be in the EDGE program. And that is renewable. It used to be only for 10 years you could be in that program, but now it is renewable. The state has changed that. So here you have some of the benefits of certifications. Eligibility for set-aside contracts. Certified businesses are listed in state and local searchable database. Certified businesses can compete for 15% of the state agency's spending budgets. We do have financial assistance, exclusive access to certain loans and bonding programs through the MBAC program. And we have a minority direct loan program as well. And then we also have technical assistance. We have access to the small business development centers, which I believe they'll be up next. And then the procurement technical assistance centers, we work closely with those agencies as well. Next slide, Jane. So how do you market your services to the agency? Some of the presenters have already mentioned some of these, so I'll just go over them briefly. So one of the things is you want to go to the mbe.ohio.gov website, and they have a projection plan there. And that projection plan shows you all of the procurement needs for the state of Ohio through the different agencies or commissions that work with the MBAC program. And so that will tell you exactly what their contractual needs are, and you can look on that and see what contractual needs that they have. So you also want to be able to create a capability statement. As someone mentioned, it is a great marketing tool. It is your business resume. And some of the things you want to cover in that capability statement is your company overview, your core products or services or competencies, key personnel, differentiators, your past performances, as well as any company information you may have, such as your NAICS codes, your Duns and Bradstreet number, and things of that nature. You also would want to include your certifications as well as your contact information. And this is something that we can help you with at the MBAC program as well. Next slide. Jane. Okay, so as I mentioned, we do have a loan and bonding program. So with our access to financial assistance, we have a minority business bonding program that provides surety bonds up to $1 million to approved state certified businesses, minority businesses. We have a minority direct loan program that provides funding up to $450,000 for eligible projects like land, building, machinery, and equipment. The rate for this is 3% interest rate for the state's portion of the loan. We also have a collateral enhancement program, which a lot of businesses really like this program, and the state tries to push this program because this provides lending institutions with cash collateral deposits to use as additional collateral support for loans made to eligible small businesses. So if you need assistance with your collateral, the state will put up a certain percentage of money in the bank as collateral for you. You would put up 10% of that, and then the bank itself would put up the remaining. And then we have the Ohio Capital Access Program, which can provide funding up to $350,000 for land, building, machinery, and equipment. And it can also fund working capital needs such as inventory and payroll up to $250,000. So those are the financial programs that we have that are accessible to you at the state level. Next slide, please. And last but not least, we have our technical program. So I don't know if you can see this or not. It's rather small. So let me move over here. And that's, so we have a technical series that's coming up. It's starting next week and it's going up until June. And these technical webinars are being powered by Influ. And Influ is a a client of the MBAC program. Joshua Reed is the owner of the business, and he is providing these technical services for the MBAC program. So since you cannot read that, and that's my fault, let me just read off some of the technical webinars that we're having. So we have advanced social media ads training. We have a Wix website development training, advanced email marketing, advanced video conferencing, advanced SEO. So we have about 19 of these webinars that are coming up starting next week. And if you're interested in learning more about them, you can reach out to me, Deborah Davis. You can give me a call at 513-471-7151, or you can go to our website at www.mbaccincy.com. And so that's all I have. If you have any questions, you can just put it in the chat and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much. And so coming up next, I believe is, what is it? It is SCORE. Oh,
I believe you do have a question, Deborah.
okay. All right. What's the question?
I can read it. Is WBE for all women-owned businesses or only for minority women-owned businesses?
It's for all women businesses. All women. It's not ethnically defined.
Okay. And then do you have your contact information? Someone was asking, Deborah.
Yes, I'll put it in the chat. Okay, and I'll put my.
And then there is another, are disabled veteran-owned businesses able to be certified through MBAC? And if they are minority owned?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And then the contact for MBAC in the Cleveland or Akron area, is that in your slides?
No, it is not in my slides, but if you want that contact information, I can put it in the chat as well. I just need to look it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so up next we have SCORE. Colleen Athens, I believe, is up next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Colleen Athens. I am a certified SCORE mentor in the Cincinnati area, but I'm going to tell you about the organization as a whole. We are a longtime national nonprofit. We've been around since 1964, and we're primarily here to help small businesses with mentoring and also with education. Go ahead, Jane. So SCORE nationally, that was the right one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. Okay, we are the largest and oldest free mentoring organization in the US. There are 275 chapters around the country. We have over 10,000 volunteers and we serve about 1,500 different communities. So we have been around a long, long time and have just tremendous success helping small businesses get started and also grow. We're funded primarily by corporate and private donations, foundation, grants, workshop fees, and some direct federal funding. We are affiliated with the Small Business Administration. Go ahead, Jane. So what do we offer? We are a group of largely retirees from corporate or small business in our business experience. But we also have some people who are working full-time today that are mentors. So we provide one-on-one mentoring or group mentoring. Before the pandemic, we were offering this in person. We have now gone 100% virtual, but obviously hope to get back to our in-person mentoring very soon. You can get a one-on-one mentor, or if you prefer a group of mentors to get a little bit more diverse experience, you can sign up for group mentoring as well. As I said, our mentors come from a very wide background, from corporate America, from owning their own small businesses, from owning franchises, you name it. And we have it somewhere in our mentor base. We can be a real neutral third party to kind of bounce ideas off of. We also have subject matter experts, people who have particular expertise in, say, finance, accounting, marketing, social media, whatever the case may be, that as a mentor, we can draw on each other to bring in that subject matter expertise if we have a client that really needs it. We offer free or low-cost educational workshops. I'll talk a little bit about some of the workshops that we're offering in the months of February and March. And really something that anyone can take advantage of is our tremendous resource library. And I'll give you the website link later, but you can get business briefs on just about any subject. You can view webinars, you can download tools, business plan tools, financial tools. It's just a wealth of information in this resource library. And we also have networking opportunities. We run business roundtables, as well as seminars where you can meet other business owners, where people really gather together and help each other. Go ahead, Jane. So in Ohio, we have 10 chapters, and you can see them here. I happen to be in the Cincinnati chapter, so just by way of example, we have about 100 mentors in the Cincinnati area, and we mentor about 1,100 clients annually. This is 2019 data, but in 2020, the numbers were up quite significantly. A lot of people impacted by the pandemic decided to venture out and start that business that they've always wanted to start. So our numbers were actually up in 2020. It's not just for people who want to start a business. About 59% of our mentoring is for startups, but about 41% is for people who are already in business. So someone who's been in business 5-10 years decides that they're just looking for a sounding board, a source of expertise where they can make improvements to their business. And we offered about 53 local workshops in 2019. Go ahead, Jane. So in February and March, and you can find all of this on our website, but just to give you an example, we have on-demand webinars that people are very, very busy. And what's great about the on-demand webinars is you can go to them at your leisure, watch as much as you can, pause it, go back to it later, and they're all free. So anywhere from financing, digital marketing, small business dream to reality is sort of our general webinar for what it takes to start a business. And then in March, we have some live webinars that you can sign up for. One is on small business accounting basics, and one is on pricing. So for more information about anything, go to www.score.org, and then you can navigate your way to your local area and find your local chapter where you can get access to the library and to signing up for a SCORE mentor. And that's all I have. Up next is Tanya Wilson with the SBDC. Let me see if I don't know if there were any questions. I don't think so. Nope, I think we're good.
Okay, hi everyone. No worries, it's going to be lots of content for our attendees to receive, right, Jane?
That's right. I'm sorry I mixed the slides.
No,
okay.
No worries. My name is Tanya Wilson with the Ohio Small Business Development Center. And this is just a intro slide here about me, just so you know that with at our team, we have 7 certified business advisors that are full-time. Each of our certified business advisors are generalists, so we all work with every business from every industry from A to Z. We each have, of course, because of our previous lives, expertise in our background. So my particular background is in marketing. And so that's what this shows. Our various advisors, we have some that have expertise in manufacturing and technology, exporting, as well as, of course, financing and loan preparation. And so all of those individuals, are here to serve you, and we work as a team. So if one person comes on as an advisor to, if I'm the lead advisor and then you need financing, you can shift to the other advisor. Next slide, please. So the Small Business Development Center is an economic entity. We joined Columbus State Community College in 2004. We cover an 8-county region right in the middle of Central Ohio. Go back for just one second. And which is Franklin County and the the other 7 contiguous states touching it that you see there in red. We are part of a national network. Here in Ohio, we have 29 centers, and nationally we have over 1,000. And so our services are available to anyone. If you don't live in central Ohio, where we will cover you, you can just go to the America's SBDC website, which I provided a link for there, and you can enter in your zip code and you will find your local SBDC. Next, please. So for the SBDC, so what we do is that there is, we want to make sure everyone knows that we're not just for startups. We of course love our startups. You know, as we know, the small businesses are the economic driver, for the nation. And so, so we definitely work with small businesses, but we work with every stage of business, you know, so until you exceed 500 employees, and in some cases, 1,500 employees based on the type of industry you in, we are your free go-to advisor. We provide, our core work is to do one-on-one advising, which is always free of charge. And so we will work with you from and wherever you are, from wherever you come to us. And so whatever need that you have. And I have a link there if you are interested in counseling. And then we also do training events, which are either free or at cost training events. And these events are created to augment our one-on-one advising, to get a lot of information to you in a shorter period of time so that we can reserve the one-on-one advising to execute and get your doors open. And I'll talk a little bit more about the events that we have going on towards the end of the presentation. Next, please. So some of our advising services, these are some of the things that we would work on with you. This is not an all-inclusive list, but just so you see, again, we meet with clients from any stage, from wherever they come to us. So if you have an idea and you don't know how to start with it, we will take you through our startup process. Or if you come in and you've already been an existing business, and as we've seen during COVID, there are a lot of businesses who now need to pivot, right? They were doing things in person and now they need to find a way to deliver that digitally. And so we will work with you through that process to look for a new market, change your operations, et cetera. So these are, some of the services that that you could come to us for: one-on-one business advising, of course, business assessment, strategic business planning, cash flow analysis, which is a big thing that we do, financial projections, also identifying sources of capital, of course, loan packaging, et cetera. And so, so again, not an all-inclusive list. We are here for you. So if you have a need, just reach out. Next slide. One of the another service that we have at our SBDC is our Export Assistance Network. This is if you have an established business domestically and you are would like to look into exporting your product or service. There is a lot of money and opportunities in export markets, and so we have Roberta Winch on our staff that would be happy to talk to you about being new to export or looking at the different opportunities there. There are programs that are specifically to that. They have the International Market Access Grant, that helps individuals be able to get a 50% reimbursement, when they're looking at when they're looking at exporting. There's also the export internship program that can help businesses who are looking to export find some additional help that can be partially reimbursed. And then there are international market support program, which helps individuals start those conversations with other countries, to be able to find those opportunities. So definitely, if you have an established business that you've been doing well here domestically, there may be other opportunities for you abroad. Next, please.
Anya, we have a question. What is a Kiva loan?
That is coming up in just a couple slides.
Okay, thank you.
Next slide, please. So for 2020, these were our results. So we actually served over 1,700 clients, started 64 businesses, helped our clients increase their sales by $14 million. We help facilitate $16 million in financing, whereas right now we definitely have partnerships with such as Kiva, which I will discuss, and First Financial, some microloans, and of course that we reach out to other entities that you'll be hearing from today, such as ECDI. And so we are definitely focused on helping our clients receive monies, even though we don't actually issue loans ourselves. We also have helped in the creation and retention of over 1,000 jobs. And we conducted 117 training events for over 4,000 attendees. So it was a very busy year, even though it was COVID. Next slide, please. For our COVID resources, we have a resource page on our website at sbdccolumbus.com. And you can go to our COVID recovery page. This is where we work to stay abreast of all the new programs that are coming out, funding opportunities. And so we will have these links on this page. And this, such as, of course, for the SBA disaster loan, the Paycheck Protection Program, and lots of state and city local programs as well. And so as we find those and become available, we try to have a consistent information here on this page. So just feel free to always go to the sbdc.com COVID-19 page for updated information. Next, please. Because of the COVID-19, we were able to, because of the CARES Act, we were actually able to receive funding to bring on additional assistance and additional contracted team members to be able to help existing small owners recover from the COVID-19 impact that they have had on their business. And so these wonderful individuals here at the bottom consist of a team that will, talking from business strategy, technology considerations, marketing and branding, financing, etc. So we run the gamut here. And so this has enabled us to completely expand our team. And so if you have, if anyone has a business and they are experiencing difficulties, you can click on this link and we'll be able to, again, reach out and help you go through whatever issue you may be dealing with. Next slide. This is Kiva, such as we have a question from someone on the chat. And so Kiva Columbus is a crowdsourced program. And so what this is that it's a character-based loan. And so it is zero interest loan. And so it works similar to a crowdfunding, crowdfunding campaign. And so what you do is that you will apply for they apply for the Kiva loan. You will have to find some investors initially. And then it opens up to the global community. And so what happens is that, so for small business owners, just general owners, typically it's between $1,000 to $10,000 that you will get, again, zero interest rate, zero loan fee, and you get up to 36 months. Because of COVID, if you are an existing business, you now have an opportunity to get up to $15,000. Again, zero interest, zero loan fees, up to 36 months with a potential 3-month payment deferment. And so the way it works is you will make an application, to Kiva Columbus. You will work with Ellen Harvey, who is our capital access manager. And once you are approved for the loan, they will determine your loan amount, and then they will ask you to find, there'll be a number, depending on how much they are approving you for. Let's say they're going to ask you to find 10 individuals who can basically vouch for your character, right? So 10 individuals would, choose to decide to invest $25 in your campaign. So it's a minimum amount of $25. And then once you meet that number of individuals, then they open it up to the global network, and which is online. And Ellen Harvey will work with you to make sure that you get funded. And then, and so this is a great opportunity. It is not credit based. And so Kiva fits in where there are, people have typical challenge, if they're having any kind of credit challenges for being a part of traditional funding, Kiva may be something that you could consider. There is a link here right below the table where you can click to view funded borrowers. Next, please. Some resources that we have that's available for you is our online business startup model. This consists of 8 modules. And so for anyone who is looking to start a business, as was mentioned before, starting a business in the time of COVID has been popular and necessary at times. And so when you're starting out, there's lots of resources here. Each module is about 20 minutes. And so you can go through, click on the module and have learned different information in terms of the idea, how to do market research, how to, what the entrepreneurship overview is, financial resources, etc. Next, please. We also, because of COVID, there was a lot, especially when the businesses, everything was shut down. We didn't want anyone to stop working on their business. So we provided a complete series of videos that will go through that walk through various different topics. So such as how to do research, how to create a business plan, etc. So these, again, as heard mentioned before, these are on-demand videos where you can just go in, click on these videos for about 20 minutes and find additional information that you may need to continue to grow your business. Next slide, please. These are one other thing I did want to mention. We are very happy to be working with Columbus Black. We are working with them on a program to support Black Business Series, and it happens every Thursday at 6:30. And so you can go to the columbusblack.com to look at that if you have if you would like to be a part of that. You can reach out to Kevin Lloyd. The last couple slides here are just some of our events that we have going on. And these events, if you click on the links when you get the presentation, you'll be able to register for the events, such as our social media strategy, which is a very popular event, that is going to be coming up in March. And also we have the basis of a successful enterprise. What this is the beginning of our startup series. And so Lift 1 and Lift Mini, Lifting 1 to Lift Mini, sorry, is our intro. So if anyone is on here that is also interested in the Kiva loan, you can attend the Lift 1 to Lift Mini. This will give you an information overview of Kiva. And so these are basically, that's basically it for our presentation and all of the information that we have going on today. If you have any questions, please let me know. And this is our contact information.
Thank you so much, Tanya.
You're welcome.
Next up, we have ECDI Ken Johnson. Ken?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for getting on today. Thanks for having ECDI. We definitely appreciate the opportunity. I'm going to go over a few things that we do here at ECDI. So it's just going to be brief. If you guys have any questions, make sure you go ahead and put them in the chat. That's perfectly fine. Our mission here at ECDI is investing in people to create measurable and enduring social and economic change. Go ahead, Jane. ECDI supports small business entrepreneurs by providing, we can do training, coaching, and we also have access to capital. So ECDI is a community development financial institution. We're the third largest SBA intermediary loan, a micro lender. And what that basically means, we do a lot of micro loans here, but we only service the state of Ohio. The two that's larger than us service pretty much the nation. So Next slide. So ECDI does a lot of small business, does a lot for small business in the state of Ohio. So we have lending offices. We're headquartered here in Columbus, Ohio. We also have offices in Cleveland, Cincinnati, Toledo, Akron, and Canton. But we can service the whole state. So we do loans within the whole state of Ohio. Next slide. Next slide. All right, so what we need to know, what you need to know about if you're looking to go through our loan program here, ECDI, our loans are personal guaranteed. So each individual owner that owns more than 20% of the business, we do ask for them to be on the loan as a guarantee. There's a collateral and equity injection requirement. The equity injection requirement is normally about 10 to 12% of the loan ask. So whatever you're asking for on the loan, we ask that you be able to show us a 10% equity injections, whether that's through a bank statement or through a cash model that you may have. Training may be required for some loans to be approved, and that training could be, very simple as, some type of credit training, some type of marketing training. It could be, but some established businesses do not go through any training. Ongoing reporting and job creation activities. So we do report jobs to the state here if the loan proceeds do allow you to retain jobs for current employees that you may have, or even hire new hires for your business. Some of the businesses that we do not lend to non-for-profits at this time. And we can't lend to anyone that has pretty much defaulted on a federal loan. So that would be student loans and FHA mortgages. And certain federal convicted of certain financial crimes. So those are the only 3 types of businesses or individuals that we cannot lend to currently. Next slide, please. All right, small business loans for inventory, equipment, or working capital is what we provide loans for. Startup businesses can get up to $75,000. What is considered a startup business here at ECDI? A startup would be considered anything 2 years or less. So that's what we consider here at ECDI. Establishing an existing business can get up to $350,000. We do look for about a 590 credit score. Before anybody asks, yes, we have done loans for individuals with a credit score lower than 590. It's not the end all be all. We do work with clients on that criteria. Loan terms range from anywhere from 6 to, actually it has changed to 66 months now. So it can go anywhere from 6 months to 66 months. There is no early prepayment penalty on any of our loans. If you pay it off early, good for you. We're very happy to receive those payoffs. The interest rate is fixed, but it does vary on each loan. It can go from anywhere from 7.25% to 12%. The average loan that we probably do in the state of Ohio is probably at about 9.5% and about on a term of 60 months. Closing costs are anywhere from 1% to 5% of the loan amount, and that will be net funded. So you don't bring any closing costs to the loan closing. You don't pay anything. We'll just take it out of the loan proceeds and net fund you the loan. Next slide, please. Currently, we do offer a community advantage loan, which is through our 7A program. Startup and existing businesses can receive this. This loan sizes is anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000, but you qualify through the SBA score. So even though we do fund the loan and offer the loan, it is considered an SBA 100% loan. Additional collateral and equity considerations. A lot of businesses do look into these loans on an established side because it's a 10-year term. And the interest rate is fixed. It's normally the prime rate plus 6, and the closing costs are 5%. Next slide, please. So where to start? You would start at ECDI.org, loans. Then you would apply for a loan. What happens is once you apply for the loan, there is a credit check and a background check. Once we get through that, there is an analysis done, and then it goes to what we call as an underwriting. The loan is underwritten to make sure that it will cash flow. ECDI is not looking to put anybody or to give anyone a debt that their business would not be able to pay. Then there's the approval process. Once the loan is approved, there is an internal review here at ECDI to make sure we have our I's dotted, our T's crossed, and everything that we need in the file is complete. And then we go for closing. Next slide. And that's pretty much it on my end. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our Women's Business Center operator, and her name is Aminata. Thank you, guys. Any questions in the chat before we turn it over to Aminata?
I don't see any right now.
Boom, that means I hit it right off the park. Thanks.
Thank you, Ken. Good morning, everyone. My name is Aminata Soko. I am the director of the Women's Business Center in Central Ohio. So the Women's Business Centers of Ohio are sponsored by ECDI, but the Women's Business Centers are actually nationwide. They were established by the SBA in 1988, and there's probably a Women's Business Center in almost every state in the nation. So the Women's Business Center of Ohio, sponsored by ECDI, are in 3 locations, currently in Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. And basically, we are currently the only SBA-funded women's business centers in Ohio. And we give not only women, but also men businesses direction and resources needed to start their business or grow existing businesses. And we do that through ongoing one-on-one coaching. We also offer small business workshops in different topics, so marketing, legal, accounting, you name it, any really topic that we believe our clients need to succeed, we bring in the experts to teach the classes. And currently with COVID-19, we came up with several programs to help our businesses that were impacted by COVID. So one of them is called the COVID Resource Network, and I have the link below. And basically the COVID Resource Network is where we hire consultants on the behalf of our clients who need expert advice in, again, accounting, marketing, really you name it, any business area that a client needs help in, we're able to hire a specialist to help with that. And then we have another component too, to help businesses that did not have an online presence prior to COVID. So we help them build websites, market on social media. So that's our Digital Connect program. We're just about to get started on that pretty soon. And another component too is PPP. Ken, I think you forgot to mention that, but ECDI is administering PPP currently, and the Women's Business Center are here to really help anyone who needs help applying for the PPP. We can answer questions regarding eligibility. We can go on to if you're applying on the software, we're able to go in and see if there's something wrong, we're able to help. So we're actively doing that currently. Next slide, please. And then a little bit more about the Women's Business Center services. So like I mentioned, we offer one-on-one business coaching on ongoing. So with an $80 membership a year, you have access to myself and all of our staff. We have a computer lab with Wi-Fi. So clients can come in and use our space to work on their business. We have co-working space as well, so which is right now with COVID, we've kind of, scaled down the operations because a lot of our services are now virtual, but we're looking to come back very soon. We also have networking events. Even with COVID now, we have Zoom networking events. So those are called Coffee and Chat, where our clients can meet with each other, kind of discuss what they have going on, share ideas with one another. So that has been very helpful, especially in these times. We also have something called a professional advisory network. So we have a group of professionals, CPAs and legal advisors who volunteer their time to help our members. So basically, our staff work. We're generalists in business. So when we see a client who needs a very specific help, then we're able to make that referral to a CPA or an accounting expert. And we have printing and notary services as well, and legal assistance referrals. Next slide, please. And then I have the link below to our workshops. So it's very small here. I just took a screenshot of our upcoming workshops, but the best place to go is really the link on our website. That will give you all our upcoming classes. And we do have a PPP webinar every week. So that's also, helps go through all the requirements for the PPP and help answer questions. Next slide, please. And I have the contact information for all of our 3 directors. So I'm the Central Ohio, I cover Central Ohio, and then we have Northern and Southern, Greater Cincinnati as well. So if you're in those areas, then please reach out to the closest person to you, or I can definitely take your information and send you to the best person. Next slide, please. And then I wanted to touch on 2 other programs that we have at ECDI, because I think those could help some of our attendees today. So the first one is our Capital for Construction program. So basically this program, we provide minority-owned subcontractors, technical assistance, financing, and procurement opportunities. So a lot of these subcontractors, they might get a job, but not really have the money to be able to get the job done, because they get paid at the end of when they complete the contract. So we come in and been very helpful. And not only do you offer the financing, but the education, and really help you be able to sustain that business. And I have the link on to learn more about the capital construction below. And the next program, next please, Jane, is our food fort. So our food fort is our, that's where we incubate and food-based businesses. So we offer technical assistance and commercial kitchens and a commissary for food trucks. So that also, we currently have 2 food forts. We have about 50 food-based businesses that we've incubated and grown into the food fort. Next. And yeah, so this slide basically just goes through so we have the kitchens, the commissary for the food trucks, and storage space as well that clients can use to store their dry ingredients, their pots and pans. So that's basically it for me at the Women's Business Center. So if anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to take it now. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you, Anata, and what a great presentation today. I think everyone hopefully was taking notes, and maybe you learned about a resource today you didn't know existed. So if you participated in today's session, if you're a small business, even if you're not necessarily looking to do business with the government, any level of government, there are resources to help you with whatever stage you're at in your business. So hopefully you were able to see from all the resources presented today, there are free resources here if you're in the startup phase, if you're in the emerging phase, if you're in the existing phase and you're looking to grow and develop. These resources are here to assist you, and for the most part, they are all offered at no cost. Sometimes there may be a fee associated, maybe with the training, maybe to cover materials, but for the most part, they're all free. Yes, today's session is being recorded. The presentation, I'll say, and the link along to the actual video, we should be able to provide those by Monday. So we will be sending out to all participants and those that registered. We want to thank all of our presenters today. We want to thank, in addition to the presenters, again, we want to thank Jane Stewart from PTAC. And I'm going to give some additional shout outs because I see we almost have the entire PTAC team that joined us today, starting with Sharon Smith, our Ohio statewide PTAC director. We want to give shout out to her, Dorinda Byers, the Columbus assistant director for OU PTAC, Larry Brown, the Cincinnati PTAC counselor, Billy Grillo, and Dayton, Bill Cox, the Dayton assistant director for PTAC, Terrell Knight, the Columbus PTAC counselor, and Mike Blythe, the Pickerington OU PTAC counselor. Thank you so much. And then for the Ohio Aerospace Institute, we'd like to thank Dan Geiser, MBAC, Deborah Davis, SCORE, Colleen Athens, SBDC, Tanya Wilson, I also saw Mike Bowers, the SBDC director here, district director. Thank him for joining. And then ECDI, Ken Johnson, and Women's Business Center, Aminata Soko. I think one of the wonderful things you have here in Ohio, not only do we have these fantastic resources, but one of the things I would like to say is that we have such great relationships. And so a lot of these resources, SBDC and PTAC will always be near and dear to my heart. I used to work with them prior to me being with the SBA. So I think one of the wonderful things is that we have such great a network of interrelationships between the different resources. So if you come to work with one and we notice, hey, you're doing good at this, let me refer you to a PTAC, let me refer you to a SBDC, let me refer you to ECDI. We have great relationships. So that ecosystem of the small business resources is really, I think, a great model here in Ohio, and you should definitely take advantage of that. If you don't have any questions, I'm just kind of taking up some time giving shout outs. Any last minute questions? And is that Lynette Smith? Is that the Lynette Smith that's on here from, is that Lynette Smith that used to be at, I don't know, I can't think of the other. So thank you for all the wonderful businesses. Again, we will be, yes.
That would be Lanice that you're thinking of.
Lanice, okay, I'm sorry, that's it, yes. And thank you, Sharon Smith, since you chimed in, if you want to give us any closing remarks, you can do that. Sharon Smith, again, is the Ohio statewide PTAC director, wonderful, great resource, tons of experience as a small business owner and resource over the years. If you'd like to give some closing remarks, please do so.
Well, I'd just like to say, first of all, thank you so much for putting me on the spot like that. But secondly, this is a phenomenal idea to identify the resources that are available to our small business community. Ohio is tremendously blessed, as you mentioned, to have such an excellent resource or base, but also how we all interrelate and interact with each other. I think of it as kind of having an tremendous staff that has knowledge on business development, procurement, and contracting, and just I can't think of all of the things that are available to our small business owners that they haven't accessed just because they didn't know that resource existed.
Absolutely.
So this is tremendous what you've done, what SBA has done in pulling all of this together and pulling all of these resources into this presentation. And I think you're doing it again with different resources that are available. Am I right about that? Or is this a one-shot deal?
I'm not understanding your question, Sharon.
Oh, it's never a one-shot deal. This is Jill. So she's asking if we're going to do this again.
Oh, maybe we can do this another time, Jill. Absolutely. In the spring,
Sure.
Maybe.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes, I think that's a great idea, Sharon.
Because I am just thinking it is so useful to these business owners. I mean, I learned about the Kiva program today. I had no idea that existed.
Yeah.
I didn't either. Yeah, that's awesome.
And maybe we could look at offering it maybe one more time this year and then going forward once a quarter so that small businesses know about all of the different resources that are available. And one of the beauties is that some of them cross kind of pollinate, some of the services that SBDC provides or also provides MBAC. So you have a ton of resources that are available regardless of if you provide goods, services, and if you're in technology, commercialization, or STEM. All of these resources are here to assist you. And again, they're at no cost. So I don't think we have any other questions. Thank you again, Sharon, and to all of the other resource partners, even though you didn't present. It is just a wonderful thing to work with each of you. We appreciate all that you do. And for all of the presenters today, again, thank you so much. We want everybody to have a great day. Again, the presentation and the link for the recording should be sent out by Monday. We'll send that out to everyone. And all the contact information will be on the inside. So everybody, thanks again for joining. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there on the roads, and stay safe in the midst of everything going on. And then look forward to getting more information about additional upcoming trainings that will be provided.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I did wonderful.
Are you going to stay in?